start you guys off, we'll have you try another one here. Try to rearrange that one and plot it for me. Where do we start? We will subtract 2x. So what do we get? Negative 3y equals 9 minus 2x. Good. What's next? Divide by negative 3. What do we get? Will it be plus or minus? Plus. Negative divided by negative will be a positive. 2x divided by 3 is 2 over 3 times x. So we'll start where?
Down 3.
Down 3, and from there we're going to go up 2 over 3. The opposite side of this would be to take a line like this. So what is the slope of this line? Well, it goes from here to here. It goes down how far? 2. How far does it run? 3. So it has to have a slope of down 2 over 3, negative 2/3. Or if I took a line like this, what's the slope of that line have to be? So down 1 over 2, right? So it's a slope of negative 1/2. Or a line like this, you're going to have a slope of what? Well, we go up 1, 4, right? And we go over 2. So that's a slope of 4 over 2, otherwise known as 2. Make sense? I can write the equation of this line really quickly. What's the slope of that? Yeah, it goes up 2, right? And it runs 3. So it's 2/3.
So we do the up before we do the over.
Yeah. Technically, I could have done this. Up 2 over 3. But I had the axis here to count them on. So that's saying y equals 2/3 times x, because it's the slope multiplying the x. Now I still need something on the end here. What's that going to be? Well, this doesn't start at the center, does it? It starts up 2, right? That's going to be plus 2. Nope. The run is always positive. The run is going from left to right. Okay. Up 2 over 3. Negative would be that direction. The way you can tell is as we go from left to right, this equation goes up. So it's got to be a positive slope. If I wanted to graph y equals 4, what would that look like? Okay, up 4. Where am I going to go from there? Nowhere. Think of it as this, plus 0x. So I make that a fraction by 0 over 1. It means I go up how far? 0 and over 1. That's a flat line at y equals 4. Because does y equal 4 here? Sure does. Does y equal 4 here? Yep, y equals 4 everywhere on that line. Doesn't matter what x is, y will always equal 4. What's the slope of that line? Kind of indicated it right here, 0 over 1, or 0. I can pick any 2 points on this line. The rise is 0, and the run is a number, right? Whatever the run is. How about this line? X equals 3. Well, if y equals 4 is a flat line, a horizontal line at 4 on the y-axis, what do you think x equals 3 is? X equals 3 right there. And every point above it or below it, x equals 3. So x equals 3. X equals a number is a vertical line at whatever that number is. What do you think the slope of that line is? Well, if I pick 2 points here, I'm going to pick this one here at 3, negative 1. And I'll pick this one, let's just go at 3, negative 5. What's the rise? Well, I go down 4, right? What's my run? How far did I go over? 0, right? Didn't go over at all. So my rise over run would be negative 4 over 0. If I do negative 4 divided by 0, what happens? My calculator says error. The slope of this line does not exist. So how do I remember a flat line has 0 slope, a vertical line has a slope that does not exist? Anybody in here like to go downhill skiing? No? Never been skiing? Well, then we're going to pick on one of my coworkers, Rick. Rick likes to downhill ski. If we have a slope that's like this, right? That's kind of a medium amount of fun if you're skiing down there, right? If it's steeper, assuming you're good at skiing and not clumsy like me or you die, a steeper is more slope, more fun, so it'd be more slope, right? If you're going downhill skiing, a hill like this is how much fun? No fun. Slope equals 0. 0 fun. But if you were to ski on a hill like this, Rick would no longer exist, right? He'd be dead. So that slope does not exist. On that note, we said that slope could not exist because the run would be 0 and we'd be dividing by 0. A couple of classes ago, I gave you a problem that looked something like this. Anybody figure out why that made funny things happen? So we started out with x equals 1 and we were able to make x equals 0. Why? Well, the problem is right here. We divided by x minus 1. What is x? 1. So what's 1 minus 1? 0. We divided by 0. If you can divide by 0, really weird things happen. Bad things happen. So we can't divide by 0. In fact, your calculator says error. In a computer program, if you actually create a computer program that requires the computer to try to divide by 0, it will lock up the computer. The U.S. Navy found out, yeah, it was Navy, it was a battleship, found this out the hard way. I don't remember the year now, but it was back in the late 80s when they first started doing satellite navigation for their ships and submarines. Their program would automatically go to the satellite and find their current position. And then they would have to type in what coordinate they wanted to go to. And it would calculate, the computer would calculate the most efficient path for them to take to get to that coordinate. And it had been operating for several years without a problem. But for some reason, it just happened to be a coincidence. At this point, the coordinate they were at happened to fall perfectly lined up with the coordinate they were going to. And so when the computer tried to calculate the path, it subtracted the coordinates and it got 0. And then later in the program, it tried to divide by that number. And of course, you can't divide by 0. It locked up the computer. They had to shut down the computer. Actually, had to shut down the whole battleship pretty much, all except for certain power. This is in the 80s, so about 30 years, 25 years. And had to reboot that battleship. And it took several hours. So you're having a billion-dollar battleship sitting dead in the water for several hours because somebody tried to divide by 0. Okay. Any questions? Okay, next class, we are going to talk about data graphs. We're going to do an introduction to statistics, which gives us only one class to really hit hardcore statistics, but we'll do enough to have some fun with them. For tomorrow, Friday, there is a new quiz. What's that? Yeah, that means, yeah, do it before. Has to be done by 11:59 p.m. Friday night.
So if you open up the business tomorrow,
Those are, which ones did you want? I got 16 through 18? Okay, through 19? Yeah, I'll have those open. I'll try to get those open. And then, of course, there's a new homework for next week. Nope, those are yours. Those are kind of like homework. Those are just practice.